Hello everyone, welcome back to my digital diaries. Picture this, you are a .NET or a Python developer, and about a year or a half year ago, you picked Semantic Kernel to build an AI powered app. It worked great. Then a new project came along that needed multiple AI talking to each other, so you picked up AutoGen. That worked great too. But now Microsoft has another SDK that is called Microsoft Agent Framework. And the first question which comes in your mind is, wait, I already have two perfectly good tools. Why do I need third one? That question is exactly what today's video is going to answer. We will break down the Microsoft Agent Framework, what actually is, revisit AutoGen and Semantic Kernel individually. Then we'll try to answer most important question, that what is the problem that made Microsoft merge these two frameworks into one and come up with the new solution. By the end, you will know exactly where each of these fits in your architecture. But before going ahead, I'm requesting you watch this video till the end. If you like this video, please do share it with your friends and colleagues. Do click on a like button. And if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing to my digital diaries. Let's get into Microsoft Agent Framework evolution. Here is a fact that surprise a lot of people. Microsoft Agent Framework isn't a brand new invention from scratch. It is an open source toolkit built for both Python and .NET, designed specially for building AI agents and multi-agents workflow. As we will see later, it's actually the result of combining two frameworks you probably already know. But before we get into that story, let's understand what this framework actually gives you, because on the surface it looks like just another SDK. Underneath, it's an entire operating system for agents. Let's go through it piece by piece. First, intelligent agent. At its core, the framework let you create agents that can understand requests, reasons through them, make decisions, and generate human-like response. Think of it as giving your application an employee who doesn't just follow a script but actually thinks through the problem. Second, collaboration. This is where it gets interesting for anyone who is working with multi-agent system before. The framework supports sequential, concurrent, handoff, and group chat orchestration pattern. In simple terms, it gives you ready-made blueprint for how multiple agents should work together, instead of you designing that coordination logic from scratch every single time. Third, ecosystem. Your agents aren't isolated. They can directly connect to APIs, databases, MCP servers, and enterprise business applications. This means an agent isn't just chatting. It can actually do things in your real system. Fourth, context and memory. The framework maintains conversation history, session state, and contextual memory across long-running interaction. So your agent doesn't forget what happened 5 steps ago. It stays consistent across the entire conversation, even if that conversation runs for hours. Fifth is scalability. This is built for enterprise from day one, with telemetry, middleware, and authentication baked in, so you can build secure, governed AI applications instead of just creating prototype that breaks in production. And the sixth one is governance. You can manage and observe workloads with precision, ensuring safety and compliance across deployment, which if you have ever tried to get an AI feature approved by a security team, is not optional anymore. So put together Microsoft Agent Framework isn't just another agent library. It is a complete toolkit that combines intelligence, collaborations, ecosystems, memory, scale, and governance all in one place. Now, here is the twist. To really appreciate why this framework looks the way it does, we need to rewind and look at the two frameworks that come before. And so, let's start with AutoGen. So, in next section, let's see what is AutoGen. Imagine you gave one single employee an entire project, research it, write it, review it, and present it all alone. It's possible, but it's slow, and mistakes are more likely to slip through. Now imagine instead you had a small team, each person handling a piece, checking each other's works, and that's exactly philosophy behind AutoGen. AutoGen is a Microsoft framework built around one core idea, multi-agent system that solves complex tasks through autonomous conversation. Collective intelligence is the first pillar of AutoGen. It's multiple AI agents working together like a specialized team instead of one general agent trying to do everything. Then the workload distribution. AutoGen automatically breaks large tasks into manageable steps so no single agent gets overloaded. One of the most powerful ideas here is a peer review. Agents actually exchange information and review each other's work to improve results. It's like having a built-in code reviewer, except the reviewer is also an AI agent. AutoGen also has a real-world impact built in with native ability to call database, REST APIs, and enterprise apps, so this conversation don't stay theoretical. And critically human in the loop. Humans can approve or guide actions before execution, so you are never fully handing over control to the group of autonomous agents talking among themselves. So AutoGen's superpower is clear. It's the best framework when your problem genuinely needs multiple agents collaborating. But that raises a natural question. What about applications that just need one really well integrated AI capability tied deeply into your business logic? And that's where comes semantic kernel, which we will see next. Here is a question that lot of teams get. If your AI model is smart, why does connecting it to your actual business application feel so painful? Authentication, plugins, memory, orchestration, none of that comes for free. That gap is exactly what semantic kernel was built to close. Semantic kernel, most developers call it as a SK. It is described as a lightweight SDK middleware that sits between your application, your AI model, and your business APIs. Native integration is where it starts. SK connects AI models like GPT-4, Claude, Azure OpenAI directly into .NET, Python, and Java apps. So no matter what stack your team is already using, SK meets you there. Then there is a business pipeline. SK let you easily expose your existing business logic and code as discoverable AI plugins, ready for the model to consume. In other words, your legacy code doesn't need a rewrite, it just needs to be exposed to the AI. Memory and context gives you robust abstraction for adding semantic memory and long-term context to AI interaction. So the AI isn't starting from zero every time it is called. SK also handles orchestration, coordinating multiple steps AI workflow and allowing models to chain tool and logic effectively. This is a lighter form of orchestration than AutoGen's multi-agent conversation, more like a single well-organized pipeline. It is also described as a co-pilot engine, literally the foundational framework used for building custom AI agents and enterprise grade or co-pilots. If you have used a Microsoft Copilot product, there is a good chance SK is working behind the scene. And finally, the middleware layer. SK acts as an orchestration layer that decouples your application logic from specific AI model APIs. So if you switch from one model provider to another tomorrow, your application code doesn't need to be rebuilt from scratch. So here we stand. AutoGen is a brilliant at multi-agent collaboration. Semantic Kernel is brilliant at deeply integrating a single AI capability into your app with memory, plugins, and orchestration. Two excellent frameworks, two different strengths, and that is exactly where the real problem begins. Now let's go back to that developer we talked about at the start of this video. The one who built one project in Semantic Kernel and another in AutoGen. Now imagine their next project needs both deep app integration and multiple collaborating agents. Which one do they pick? And this is the friction, and it was very real. Semantic Kernel was best for apps, AutoGen was best for multi-agents, and developers were left asking three questions over and over again. Which one should I use? Can I combine them? Which one is actually supported long time? And that uncertainty is a real cost. Teams were making architecture decisions based on guesswork, not clarity. And that's precisely the problem Microsoft set out to solve. And the solution, Microsoft Agent Framework. It is literally a semantic kernel plus AutoGen unified into a single toolkit. Not a replacement that throws away what worked, a merger that keeps the strength of both. You get unified workflow and tool calling, SK's integration strength and AutoGen's orchestration pattern in one place. You get enterprise grade governance because production AI needs telemetry and compliance, not just clever prompt. You get full memory and session support carried over SK's context handling, and you get observed multi-agent system. AutoGen's collaborative power now with the enterprise grade visibility in built-in. So when someone asks you, I already have AutoGen and Semantic Kernel, why do I need Microsoft Agent Framework? Now you must have known the real reason. You are not learning a third tool here. You are moving to the unified, supported, and production-ready evolution of the two tools that you already trust. Alright, that's the wrap up for today. We went from a simple question, why do I need another framework, all the way to understand the full story behind it. What Microsoft Agent Framework is, what AutoGen brings to the table, and what Semantic Kernel brings to the table, and how Microsoft unified both into one production-ready toolkit, and that is Microsoft Agent Framework. If this video helped you, please do click on a like button to share it with your friends and colleagues. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing to the channel and click on notification bell so that you will get the update from the My Digital Diaries. Thank you for watching this video till the end. I will meet you in the next video.